LeBron versus Stephen A. LeBron went on Pat McAfee, was killing him. Uh, Stephen A. responded. He even said he would swing on him. I think LeBron put Stephen A. in the trick bag, bro. Because Stephen A. I agree with everything he said. Then he started getting personal, and he kind of started spiraling. So, what's your thoughts on LeBron versus Stephen A. And this our
Uh,
last week topic.
Stephen A. done had a lot of beats throughout his time being in the media. Um, Most of the time, the people he try to spark something off with, or people that keep themselves private, so he can kind of say and get away with stuff, but they only gonna talk to him in private. But in the public eye, people thinking like, oh man, see they didn't come out and say nothing. It must be true. But now it's starting to backfire because LeBron addressed it. Now he gonna back Stephen A into this corner, and now Stephen A talking about, I mean, if he'd have put his hands on me, I would do. I'm like, come on now, Stephen A. You know and I know you was not about to
Bro,
do none of that. First of all, you know LeBron ain't don't have no history put his hands on NBA players. Why would he put his hand on the media guy?
facts.
Like you just wanted to say that. Just I don't know. I think he's trying to get another reaction or something. But then the reaction backfired because LeBron is laughing at you.
Yeah, LeBron is like LeBron is pulling a KD. Like he just stole KD how he operate within the media and social media, and he just kind of like, man, I'm finna troll you. Nigga say, man, I'm set in stone at this point. I don't got to be politically correct no more. I'm 40 years old. Uh, I think Stephen A. was very credit. I thought he had a lot of credit on what he was saying. Bronny wasn't ready for the league, and he's been coming on as of late, but he wasn't ready for the league. LeBron put him under a microscope. Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. at the game, their first game, he made his son into a spectacle to further his legacy. I thought that was a credible thing to say because
The
I felt
difference, though,
this same
I
way.
always say the difference with that though is Ken Griffey was ready from day one. Boom.
And but you see what I'm saying? You LeBron manufactured that moment. Like it wasn't natural. And I think a lot of people seen that. Even Stephen
Yep.
A said he circumvented the meritocracy of sports by using his power and influence to put his son in a position that he did naturally earn. I thought that was fair. Where LeBron won was making Stephen A come out and saying, like, oh, I could have beat you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would have swung on him. And now Stephen A getting personal. Stephen A is no longer keeping it basketball like he said he was doing. Now he's getting personal, questioning this,
Now
questioning
it's
that.
now it's now it's showing that okay, maybe you just hated him all along. That's the only reason why he spoke on it.
Yes. Because now I'm no longer on Stephen A. side because I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron just because it just I got a different of opinion on how I love basketball. Nigga, I ain't LeBron though. Like LeBron plays it at a crazy level. He knows the game at a crazy level. I just love the game, and I just think he operated in some ways that I'm not used to. I grew up on Kobe's. I grew up on other ways, but Stephen A. kind of taking it to a whole different. I'm not siding with that shit. Or it just is what it is. Yeah. Huh?
And you know, Stephen A. a Jordan guy. He's let that be known a lot. Like anytime somebody get on record and say anybody name other than Jordan, he has a personal vendetta with them. I'm like, bro, like everybody not gonna think Jordan is the GOAT, and that's okay. It's
It
other
is
players
okay.
that have arguments.
Just like you
But I think
say
he
that
personally
Kobe has
has
a
something against. He has a personal argument, but he has a personal vendetta against LeBron because of that. Like how people spark that debate of like LeBron versus MJ.
do you think LeBron overly wants to be considered the GOAT? Because that's what Stephen A thinks. Stephen A thinks LeBron don't like him
I think
because he don't
I
think
think
he
LeBron.
LeBron's
I
the
think
GOAT.
LeBron do want to be considered the GOAT. He didn't
Do
say
you
that
think
ain't my mouth.
but do you think he overly manipulates things and tries to make things look a certain in a way because of it?
Mm, I wouldn't say he go that far.
I think he does. I don't think he let the game speak for itself enough. I think it's a because look, you know me, just from a basketball perspective, I can leave a lot of stuff out of it, but when LeBron, because I'm not even gonna talk about when they got swept against the Spurs, because when he got them there, he wasn't even supposed to get them there. I'm talking about in '09 against the Orlando Magic, where he didn't play good in Game 6, and his supporting cast played bad, but he carried them all the way through those first 5 games. And in Game 6, his supporting cast showed up, but he didn't, so he could never get to the Kobe matchup. And then when they lost to Dirk and the Mavericks, it's like, how can you be the GOAT with that? Like, your first 10 years of your NBA career, you had your opportunities to cement yourself and you didn't. Yes, he had a harder road than Jordan. He had a lesser supporting cast. So, Ray, is this fair? If you would have got past Orlando Magic and beat Kobe and then done everything you've done now, you would have had a better GOAT case. Is that's fair to say? Same thing with if you beat the Heat. I mean, if you went to the Heat and beat Dirk in that first year, you would have had a better case. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So
Even
why is
though
it?
even though you
Go
would have
ahead.
did what you were supposed to do, the fact that the opposite happened is crazy in itself. That kind of diminished, like, but people try to diminish that part of his career. The same thing they try to point out as flaws for other people's careers. They make it. They create this victim mentality for LeBron and why he didn't get it done.
I 100% agree. So it's like I feel like he's using LeBron is using the longevity thing because he is going to be the greatest longevity player the NBA has ever seen. 50,000 points and then all the records he will break in that time him still playing. I think everything is trying to correct the mistakes he made earlier, but I think you just can't correct those mistakes in a GOAT conversation. I don't think you just it just uh, it's unfair. But you are in a GOAT conversation. GOAT means greatest of all time. You had your chance. LeBron really had his opportunities. He didn't capitalize. Now I think he's trying to overcorrect with the longevity, and I don't think that'll work. That's just me personally. Now, if somebody say he's the GOAT, he has an argument, he has a case, but then the opposite can be true. And with Stephen A, he's Team Jordan. LeBron don't like that. And I don't know. I like the Pat McAfee interview, but I just don't know, Ray. I think they both have points on both sides. But I side with Stephen A when it comes to the GOAT debate. I side with Stephen A when it comes to how LeBron handled Bronny's NBA stuff. Now, how he treats him as a son outside of that and all the other stuff, but as an NBA dad, I thought he went the wrong way with Bronny. And it's not criticizing his parenting as a whole, just in how he approached Bronny's career in the NBA as you've been in the NBA more than you've not been in the NBA as LeBron. But it could all work out and he could prove us wrong. But I don't think Stephen A went out of bounds with criticizing that part of LeBron's parenting because he is putting that part of his parenting on display on a national scale because it's Bronny James and it's LeBron James. And the first game y'all played together was Ken Griffin Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. was in attendance. So I think it's fair to start criticizing some of those things. And he said Bronny was going to be better, was already better than half the league. So
Case in point.
I don't know. I feel like it was fun too though. Did you see LeBron talk about how basically the NBA was rigged when it comes to drafting?
No, I didn't see that part. I did see him talk about like the state of college and if he watching and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, see, I'm gonna try to find it real quick because I did want to. Damn, because he was talking about D Rose and going to Chicago. He was talking about Patrick Ewing going to New York, him going to to Cleveland, him understanding the assignment. So I don't know. I definitely don't think the NBA like that. That's basically what he said. Like he said, I understood the assignment. I went to Cleveland, my hometown, not hometown, but home state. Uh, Derrick Rose went to Chicago, his home state. Patrick Ewing, New York. That's where he was playing in college. It's like he understood the assignment, basically calling that shit rigged. That's what I got out of it. And I don't think the NBA would like that, but I think that was a good interview. It was worth the whole hour. I watched the whole thing. I liked it. Why he didn't get at the club Shay Shay though? I'm just saying that's the biggest LeBron nut rider in media. Is that fair?
No, Nick Wright is by far. Nick Wright been doing this since before Kobe retired.
I think Nick Wright is a LeBron plant. I think Nick Wright is on the LeBron payroll. I think Shannon Sharp is the nut rider when it comes to LeBron. So I get what you're saying on Nick Wright, but I think Nick Wright is literally a clutch employee at this point. I think Shannon Sharp.
How much Skip hate him? I think he on payroll to be a LeBron hater.
Skip, bro, he just understood how to monetize how he actually felt. I think Skip actually feel this way. You don't get to be that damn old. He's still posting YouTube videos till this day. I just reacted to one of his videos yesterday. Like after they lost to the Bulls. Yeah. No.
You only get this much love when you get that much hate.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Oh. See, that proves my point. LeBron's the most manipulative player in the history of sports, and he don't let the game speak for itself. Nope. That's just my biggest criticism with LeBron. He's too much politician. But they also said Skip made him that way. Jason Whitlock made a good point and said Skip made LeBron into the politician that he is today because nobody ever came out and criticized the player and made so much traffic how Skip did LeBron. But LeBron also, you know what I'm saying, he fell short. And I'm not criticizing him for falling short. I'm criticizing him for wanting a certain spot after falling short. I just think that's fair. And we became a world where we so soft, we just can't say certain things. It's so much stuff that's off limits that you can't say. It's crazy to me. Like we didn't grow up like that. We grew up saying, man, he kind of sorry. He trash. Oh, he not this. We not saying these niggas just can't do this. They're just terrible in terms of basketball players, but in compared to who they are compared to. The way Victor Wembanyama came into the league, how can I compare him to goddamn Kenyon Martin? No offense to Kenyon Martin, but that's two different types of number one overall picks. We compare Victor Wembanyama immediately to the greatest of all times in terms of prospects. So that's LeBron James. That's who else? Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and those guys. I think that's fair. So when I say something about Victor Wembanyama, it's based off who he is projected to be. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm comparing him to the Tim Duncans, the LeBrons. You see what I'm saying? And I just think that's fair.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.